Hi you guys, it's Dara, and I just went to the farmer's market in Santa Monica on Arizona. I wanted to tell you that I miss you, but I've been live on Facebook, so for those of you who want to or can, join me on Live with Dara Dubinet on Facebook. It's free, it's a closed group, and I'm inviting you. In the meantime, we'll be back here too. So I've missed you, and I just have my farmer's market finds here. I'm sitting on the sidewalk. I didn't have my phone with me at the market, so I wanted to share the most gorgeous purple radish. Let's go home to the kitchen and see what we're gonna do with that. And the beautiful stinging nettles. Floribella Farms, JJ's Lone Daughter Ranch. Yeah, those are my must go-tos. I like Coleman Family Farms and Weiser. I got this from Weiser Family Farm. So I will see you guys back in the kitchen. I can't wait. Okay, you guys, we made it home from the farmer's market, and there are a lot of beautiful things on this table. And what has inspired me the most that I got at the farmer's market, when I'm so happy to find, I feel really lucky and fortunate when I find stinging nettle. These are from Floribella Farms, and their produce is watered by snow, mountain water, so it's rich in minerals. Anyway, stinging nettle is a very prickly weed. It can be found in the wild if you're lucky enough to find it, and if not, get it at the farmer's market when you can. So you can have all of the medicinal properties that it contains, which include not only acting as a diuretic, but relieves symptoms and helps with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and any prostate issues. It's like the wonder herb. So what you can do if you don't have fresh nettle for this recipe, you can use spinach. You can use a combination of parsley and sorrel. Sorrel will give it that kind of brightness, because this is like spinach with a brightness. And I want to recommend, if you want to try nettle tea, already dried nettle from Mountain Rose Herbs, go ahead and do that. Make yourself a nettle tea every day, and you can make a broth with the tea. I've not tried blending. We're going to blend this soup. We're going to make a soup, and then we're going to blend it. So I haven't tried the dried, but I think it will work. If not, use spinach. So in any case, we have the nettle, and what I do with it is I rinse it. First I put a pot. There's a couple things I do, but basically what you want to do is cut off the hard ends, about that much. You can handle these with gloves because they will poke you, and they'll cause redness and itching that will go away, and it actually brings circulation to the area in which it touches. So if you have any joint issues, you can kind of tap yourself there and it will help in the healing. I don't need to do that to my hands, so what I do is I usually put gloves on, cut the ends off, rinse this in cold water to remove any dirt or grit, and then I will put this. You can do one of two things. You can just put this in 5 cups of water, but I'm going to do something a little bit different today. It's going to give us a lot of flavor. We're going to take a little coconut oil at the bottom of the saucepan. We're going to have cut onions and garlic, and then we're going to just cook those a little bit. Then we're going to add the water. Then if we want, we can add potatoes. I've done this both ways. Sometimes most of the time I make this, because I don't really buy potatoes that often, is I just use a handful of cashews to cream it up, maybe a splash of olive oil. So I don't really need the potatoes, but you certainly can cook potatoes for however long until they're tender in the water, and then add the nettle until the nettle is tender, and then you blend everything. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and wash, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the ingredients we're going to use today are the nettle, obviously. You can use a vegetable broth. I don't use that. I will use water, some namashoyu, which is unpasteurized soy sauce, some salt. I like a little bit of serrano pepper, just a titch of it, about that much, to give it a little bit of heat. Garlic and yellow onion. And these two things will be sauteed just a little bit at the bottom of the pot with coconut oil, just a tablespoon or two. You don't need much. I'll use a whole onion. I'll use 3-4 cloves of garlic. That's to taste, however you like it. And then I'll add about 5 cups of water. It depends how much nettle you're using. I'll add 5 cups of water. So first we'll saute, then we add the water, then we add the potatoes and cook them, then we add the nettle, then we blend. You don't need to watch the rest of the video unless you want to hang out with me. You can fast forward to the end. So I think that it's just really, you know, I've made this soup without doing the sauteing. I just add the water and the onions and the garlic to the pot, and it doesn't really matter. It will work out beautifully that way too. This is just gonna add a little extra cooked flavor. Sorry, I'm playing with this. A little extra cooked flavor to the soup. Both ways are fine. The quickest way is to just throw it all in a pot, cook, and then blend. So don't worry about it. Okay, so we have the onions cut. We have 2 tablespoons of coconut oil on the stove on a fairly high heat. I'm going to prepare the garlic, and then we will lightly saute those just for like 4 minutes, just to get the onions translucent, to bring out the flavors of the garlic, and that's it. It doesn't really matter how finely you chop the onions or the garlic because everything is going to be blended. I do like to smash the garlic a bit because then we'll get extra flavor. Now remember, we have to flavor balance, right? My onion might be sweeter than yours. You might need a titch of agave in your soup. You might feel like adding a bit of citrus, and that's okay. So we'll see at the end when we go to blend, but just the garlic and the onions and the namashoyu have been amazing for me. But each time is different, right? Okay, let's throw in the onions. So you know, Herbie, my 88, he was 85 when he moved here from New Jersey. He's doing fantastic. He's eating healthy. He's healthy. He's gonna get some soup today. Maybe we'll get him on camera. I know many of you love, love, love Herbie. He's an inspiration to all. Going organic vegan at 85. No excuses, right? I want you to know that you can make this nettle soup raw. If you blend, nettles sting you unless they've been cooked or blended, pureed. So you can puree this soup and have a raw nettle soup. I'm going to show you what my onions look like. And there's the nettle. And I'm just going to gingerly pick that up and put that into first, I think I'm going to skip the potatoes. I think I'm not going to do potatoes, and I think I'm going to touch the nettles with my hand because I can't, I could take a glove. Yes, I could. I'll put on my glove. And then we're going to, cook the nettles. And we don't have to wait for the potatoes to cook first. We do want a little bit of this pepper. That's what I forgot. And I'll put the namashoyu in. I love it spicy. You guys know I love spice. I like it spicy. It helps boost the metabolism, keep germs away. All right. Here we go. The water. And the nettle. And then it's on high and we're good to go. So that's that. That's what we have going on for now. And then that will cook, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And then we can blend it. in the Vitamix, in a Blendtec, in a NutriBullet. You'll have to do batches of it in the NutriBullet. You can make way less than I'm making, so don't worry about that. And then I'm gonna show you a little salt. We're good to go. What I've also been known to do, which I love to do, is I love to have some kale in it as well. So if you do have some kale, you can go ahead and put it in the pot, right? Put some kale in there, or just add the hot soup here and add the kale in here. You can use raw kale. So I'm gonna see if I have any, because sometimes what happens is, chard could be good too. What happens is if there's too much water here, then you just end up with more of a broth-like soup, and I like my nettle soup to be thick. So what I would suggest to you is doing less water, maybe 3 to 4 cups. Depends on how much nettle. You don't want it too watery, and you can always add water. So I'm gonna come back when it's time to blend. There's an up close of what the nettle looks like. I'm cleaning up while we're waiting for the soup to cook. Okay, who's ready to do some blending? The soup, it took like 10 minutes. It's just until the greens are tender. And then we take the carafe and we take the pot. I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay. It smells so good in the house, I can't even tell you. Like this? Okay, that hurt. Be careful doing that. That definitely was hot. So don't do exactly as I do. If you want to ladle it out, that could be good. But the show goes on. I'm fine. This is a little full, so I could pour some out just to be safe. And to be safe, don't pour hot liquid like I did. I've done it before and never spilt it on myself, but splashes do happen. So this looks actually nice and thick. Let's see what it does. You guys know I used to make one mistake per video and I loved it. That was my mistake. Okay. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to give you the recipe. We're going to add in a handful of cashews. I'm going to give you the recipe. I'm saying 3 cups of water to bunch of nettle. You can always add more. I'm saying 1 onion, 5 cloves of garlic, 1 handful of cashew, maybe 2, 3 to 4 tablespoons of namashoy, which is the soy sauce. I used at least 2 teaspoons of salt. I like it very salty. Please do that to your taste. I'll add in a little bit more. A handful and a half of raw cashews. No, they do not need to be soaked. They need to be soaked if you want super creamy cashew cream, but don't worry about soaking them. So now, yeah, we have namashoyu, salt, and of course the nettles. 1 big bunch of nettles. In restaurants, they will, or if you want a finer soup, you can run this through a sieve, right? And have it finer, but I don't mind the texture to it. I actually like it. So let's see. Let's see about our taste now. It's beautiful. Like I said, a little less water. It's a little thin, but it's absolutely delicious and beautiful, and you can't go wrong. This is an amazing thing to have in a mason jar to take on the go with you. Wow. I just love nettle. So I hope you guys try this. It's really delicious. And obviously get your greens on, and I will see you really soon. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I definitely want it thicker, so in goes the raw kale. I blend. I could put some more cashews, but this is going to be amazing. I wanted to share with you. If you do have too much liquid, this is what you do. Okay, now you can get your greens on.